My children soon will be gods. この狩りの始まりだ。
Cam, I am so sorry. I thought we'd already reacted to this. Cam actually asked us to react to this a while ago, and I'm sorry, dude. I thought we got to this, but apparently we didn't. It's just there's a lot of stuff that people send us. There's a lot of different reactions and different things, and especially with all the videos and memes and stuff that I receive on my streams and all that, like I'm having trouble recalling like most things. I mean, Jesus. I was thinking back on the
It's too much stimulation going into your brain. It's overloading.
Yes, it is, and I feel it. Which is why I think I cope with it by drinking, because it's just like it's the only way my brain can truly like not suffer brain rot is by giving myself liver damage.
It's not good.
No, it isn't. But hey, that's the life that I lead.
An unhealthy coping mechanism is hyperfocus.
Yeah.
I just cram my brain with lots of the same thing for a long period of time until I'm sick of that thing. So.
You can understand that. So, Cam asked us to react to Saber Sparks Totally Spies. So, here we are. I know about Totally Spies. I have like plenty of memories of Totally Spies because my cousin, who was much younger than me, was into Totally Spies, and she watched it on the regular while I was babysitting her. So, yeah.
So, I'm not gonna lie, I watched it myself.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Okay.
It's mainly because as like a middle school boy, like at that time, like I thought all three characters were pretty hot, so.
I get that.
And it had some good comedy and action in it, so.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
I mean,
what
it
I
was
saw
kind of
that I
also
actually
like
liked
anime
pretty good.
style to an extent, so I was getting into anime, so I was like, yeah, it's a pretty cool show.
Yeah. Remember there was one episode that I watched in particular, it dealt with like they were swapping body parts. They came across this model who had like different fingers that of like different like from different people and all that. Turns out this guy was obsessed with perfection and was just like finding what he thought was like the perfect parts. And was like trying to build the perfect model.
Don't remember that one.
Yeah. It was weird. It's very weird because one of the spies actually had her legs replaced by like this buff jacked dude's legs. And she was just like she's like, oh no, I look like a drill sergeant. Oh gosh. Anyway, so we're gonna check this out. We're gonna see what Saber Spark thinks about it. Here we go.
When I was a kid, I grew up with a bunch of cartoons. SpongeBob, Rugrats, the Powerpuff Girls, to name a few. And as cartoons, they usually feature some pretty weird stuff.
This is exactly what I was talking about!
But there was one show in particular that went beyond strange. One that made me wonder if it had ulterior motives. But, come
Probably.
on, that can't be. It's a cartoon for kids. Just innocent fun, right?
Aw, you have all their flavor free!
Are you fucking kidding me?
There was a show that truly questioned the purpose of a cartoon. It was totally Spies. Even as a kid, I wondered why this show had so many bizarre things happen to its main characters. Cat girls, brainwashing, shrinking clothes, and so much bondage.
Much like, here's the thing, much like Dan Snyder and his obsession with feet, it's easy to spot like the fetishes of certain people. For instance, Frieren. Feet.
Somebody on that animating staff definitely is in the feet.
Yes. Quentin Tarantino. Feet. I mean, here's the thing. I have an obsession with curvaceous women. You don't see me casting curvaceous women in everything that I do. I mean, hell, the only film that I've ever made doesn't even have women in it. I was gonna say that. Actually, there'd be some people say is Nate gay? It's like he doesn't cast any women in his movies. It's like, no, I'm not. It's just for the screenplay I wrote. That's what it was. Once again, yet when you let your fetishes take over and shit like this, it's not a good look, man.
Great! What are we gonna do now?
I mean, seriously, what the hell is this cartoon? Is it just innocent fun? Or is it secretly deviant? With all of its different plot points, one can't help but ask if Totally Spies was fetish fuel in disguise. If the people who made this cartoon were subtly telegraphing their fetishes. I mean, yeah, that's quite the bizarre accusation. But trust me, there is some interesting evidence that supports that claim. Really, really interesting.
Oh my god.
Before we jump into it, I want to give a quick shout out to Verve, an app from the people over at Crunchyroll. Verve is home to 12 incredible channels. It's a way for viewers to discover more content from creators they all know and love.
Did that ever become an entire show?
Yes, it did.
Dang, I need to watch that.
Stick around to the end of the video to learn more and get a 30-day ad-free trial of Verve Premium by clicking on the link in the description.
Easy, Clover. We need to fuel up before we go power shopping with you.
As with most of my videos,
Also,
Easy, Clover. We need to...
yeah, so it's a husband and wife duo that basically were the head writers of the show.
fuel up before we go power shopping with you.
as with most of my videos, I go back to the origin and history of said topic. For Totally Spies, it was developed back in the early 2000s by two fellas, David Michael and Vincent Calvin de Merce. They noticed the popular trend of girl bands at the time and wanted to base a show on that concept. Initially, the idea was to form an actual band that the show would promote, but this wasn't meant to be. The cartoon itself, though, continued on and premiered on ABC Family in 2001.
Girls, get ready for your next mission.
What? Another evil genius taking over the world?
Actually, you're taking on ABC Family.
You know what this means.
New outfits! We are Totally Spies.
Totally Spies. Today at 9:30, 8:30 Central on ABC Family.
According to an interview,
It was
Michael
not
said
really
that
a
he
family show, was it?
No.
noticed a lack of action cartoons for girls, but a surplus for boys. He also noticed the immense popularity of Britney Spears and the Spice Girls. So why not combine the two and make a cartoon for female viewers to watch? Another inspiration for the show was the
You know, it's odd how when they try to make shows aimed at girls, they attract the exact opposite. It's like My Little Pony. They invented that show for girls. Instead, what we got were the bronies.
movie Clueless, but mixed with elements from James Bond and Charlie's Angels.
Good morning, angels.
Good morning, Charlie.
Afternoon, ladies. So good of you to pop in.
Jerry, as your friend, I gotta tell you, your jokes are getting seriously old.
It should be mentioned that the visual style of the show is heavily influenced by anime. In combination with American action and comedy, Totally Spies was a melting pot and had a broad appeal to multiple demographics. Even guys were into the show, but I can't imagine why.
Shrunk my butt!
So I decided to take a closer look at the people who made the show and to see what else they have worked on. The head writers were Michelle and Robert Lemorex.
Lamorax, yeah. The Lorax, but more.
The Lorax. I'm so sorry, French people. I'm really trying my best here. Oh, and speaking of which, the countries of origin for Totally Spies are both Canada and France, which means Teletoons. But I'll get to that in a moment. Robert and Michelle have quite the impressive resume and have worked on some successful shows in the past. Hey Arnold, Cat Dog, oh my god, Rocket Power.
Come on, Tito, say it. Coolaroonie. Coolaroonie. Tito.
Vincent and David have also worked on quite a few shows too, but I don't really know them. Yoo-Hoo and Friends, Get Blake, Lolly Rock, Sheriff Callie's
Excuse me. You just got put on a list for Googling that one.
What? Well, the proof just keeps piling up, doesn't it?
The whole thing is highly suspect.
All right, let's talk about the show and what it's about. We have three main characters, Sam, Alex, and Clover. Three high school girls who are secretly spies and work for the World Organization of Human Protection. They work alongside a fella named Jerry, who assigns their missions and outfits them with fancy gadgets. Tech gadgets that can defy the laws of physics. In the episodes, the girls typically deal with villains who want to exact revenge on the world in some weird way or another. On its surface, the show doesn't appear deviant and just comes across as innocent fun. But this is a Teletoon show, and those Canadians have a unique sense of humor.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Brace face, I remember this show.
I remember the show existing, but I didn't know it had anything like that in it.
There were some very risque episodes.
But out of all of the Teletoon shows, I would have to say that Totally Spies stands above the rest when it comes to sexual innuendos. Whether it's deliberate or not, well, we'll talk about that in a moment. But you cannot deny that this show was creative with its plot.
I guess that double soy chai really thrashed our threads.
No worries. I am totally prepped.
Yep, there it is.
For such an unfortunate sit.
Thank you for calling out Tarantino.
In order to identify the possible nature of this show, we have to ask ourselves, what is a fetish? Well, according to Webster, it's an object, such as a small stone carving of an animal, believed to have magical power to protect. It's an object or bodily part whose real or fantasized presence is...
Yeah, there's the original definition, then there's a more modern definition of what a fetish is.
Psychologically necessary for sexual gratification, and that is an object of fixation to the extent that it may interfere with complete sexual expression. Basically, it's when a person has a sexual desire that isn't the norm, and it's connected with something particular: feet, bondage, furries, and so on. For the record, I went into this video thinking I would just be chatting about how weird this cartoon is, but I did a fair amount of research surrounding fetishes. I wanted to know how they are formed. I mean, I'm 100%
now your
sure
search algorithm is forever ruined, isn't it?
Yeah. Now the FBI's got you on a watch list, bro.
Totally Spies, at the very least.
He's probably getting some weird Facebook advertisements now.
Yeah.
Fetishes for some of its viewers.
Very faps, and I only watched it to see the cool gadgets, TBH.
Oh god, now that I think about it, I remembered that episode where one was turned into an insect or something like that. I was fucking fascinated with it.
I swear this show must have given people some fetishes. There was a ton of it in there, like fat transformations, animal transformations, etc.
I have probably blown 1 gallon of cum to Sam, though.
It's Always Sunny on the news all the time.
Yeah.
It's something we didn't need to hear ever.
Bondage-related stuff was usually enough to satisfy my fantasies.
First bonus, a new fetish per episode. It's nice.
God damn you, fucking 4chan. You cesspool of
This is
degenerates.
why we don't go on 4chan, bro.
Best thing France has done since human rights.
Here's the thing. This same comment chain can probably be found about any other show in existence, and it gets more horrible and weird the further you go with it.
I mean, 4chan, like, dude, 4chan has its limits on, like, the stuff that it will allow to get away with. But dude, there was a comment chain on 4chan. It literally showed this dude who found a grenade. He found a grenade, and everyone was, like, daring him to, like, pull the pin and throw it in the toilet. And here's the thing. The last image that he shared was he was dangling it from the ring, you know, the pull ring, and it was like dangling over top of his toilet, and he was never heard from again. And then they actually did some research, 4chan did some research, and they found out that a young man died in an explosion in his bathroom when a grenade went off that he had found at random. And yeah, it's just Jesus. That stuff's and the fact that 4chan, most of 4chan was just like, lol, stupid guy, deserved to die. It's like, bro. Then there's other ones that I'm not even going to mention them because 4chan gets fucked.
Let's not go into it.
Complicated topic. Humans are quite subjective, and I don't want to get off track with our focus, so I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Here are a few main ways of how fetishes are
You know how
developed.
there's the internet and there's the dark web? Well, 4chan is the very dark corner of the internet.
Yeah, it's the bridge
Like, it may not
the dark
be
web.
in the dark web, but it's still one of the most shadowy corners of the internet.
It's the bridge. It's the gateway. It's like, how do I get to the dark web? Follow me.
We have to go through 4chan
They
first.
just happen. It's the same thing as enjoying or disliking certain foods. Perhaps you just love eating sardines right out of the can, and there's no deep, complicated reason why. You just like them the same way that a person might enjoy a specific sexual preference. Number 2. Past experiences. This is where we start to get psychological. While researching, I discovered that for some people, fetishes come about from previous events in their life. This one guy had a doorknob fetish, but this was because they locked themselves in a closet to hide from their family while they pleasured themselves. And over time,
So they're mostly beaten off staring at a doorknob.
that turned into a fetish. Ultimately, I believe that it's a combination of human curiosity and culture. Sex to us isn't just for reproduction. We like to explore. We like to try new things. We adapt. We change. It's what makes us human. Now, whether or not others are willing to accept a preference depends on the culture of those people. I once watched a documentary about a tribe where the men create lavish outfits, dance in front of ladies, and try to find a partner to hook up with, while their old partner does the exact same. Now, that does not happen on an open level here in the States, but I know that swingers exist, couples who switch off with their partners, but they are more subtle about it.
I know some swingers.
I believe that this
don't
is
fuck
because
with them.
sex is a taboo topic in modern society. Well, at least here in America, even though we subconsciously post it everywhere.
This is TV Gold.
Ultimately, I'm no expert on the topic, so don't take what I say as an absolute truth. What I do know, though, is that fetishes can develop in a myriad of ways. And with what I see in Totally Spies, I can't help but wonder if the show creators were sneaking in their preferences into the cartoon. But hey, maybe it's just coincidence. Perhaps the show creators were just trying to be weird and have innocent fun. I mean, it's not their fault that there's a fetish for literally everything. Oh my god, you breathe air? That's hot.
True.
Why, I'm...
Stop it, SpongeBob.
The main thing here is how specific the show gets with its fetishes. It is uncanny, and I will show you. There's bondage, feet, schoolgirls, mummification, buried in sand, wigs, life draining, shrinking, muscles, skirts, sneezing, bondage, swimsuits, cross-dressing, sweating, face swap, covered in mud, covered in gum, brainwashing, wrestling, bondage, showering, transformation, furries, towels, head enlargement, Rule 63, cheerleading, entanglement, ripped clothes, weight gain, forced feeding, giant girls, tattoos, frozen, maid outfits, cat girl outfits, aging, bondage, and shrinking clothes. So do you see where I'm coming from and why I'm suspicious?
That's almost exactly what I've been saying.
So in conclusion, is Totally Spies a fetish show in disguise? As lame as this answer sounds, there's really no way of knowing. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of things in the cartoon that create suspicion, but the mind sees what it wants to see. And for some people, all they see are fetishes. But to others, they just see innocent fun. A person being tied down might just be for a plot point, but to somebody else, that's kind of hot. The show is too ambiguous for us to know. Unless a show creator or head writer admits to it, all we can really do is speculate. But I can most certainly say that Totally Spies led to some fetishes for its viewers. During my research on forums and co, folks would say that Totally Spies was a cartoon that piqued their interest in different fetishes. So at the very least, we can say that this cartoon was incidentally fetish fuel, but most likely not on purpose. That's like saying that Walt Disney was a furry for all the anthropomorphic characters in his movies.
Hello.
True.
Hey guys, I just wanted to give another shout out to the sponsor of this video, Verve. You can download the Verve app now on Xbox, PlayStation, iOS, or Android by clicking on the link in the description. It has a lot of great shows that range from Western animation to anime, and all of it in its high quality 1080p glory. And with Verve Premium, you can even watch your favorite shows on the go without an internet connection by syncing them up through the iOS or Android app. If you sign up for Verve Premium, you can watch everything ad-free, plus awesome content like Bee and Puppycat, Bravest Warriors, and Gary and His Demons. I recently watched this show, and I gotta say, it's pretty good. It's like Men in Black meets Castlevania meets Rick and Morty. It's interesting, it's funny, and the characters grow on you, the same way a demon grows inside your body.
No, 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 no! There's not but death now.
Marito,
That looks kind of good, actually.
There's not but death now.
Marito, could you bring Gary's tweezers right in? And some glue for my. Oh, sweet Lord.
So click on that link in the description.
I need to watch that.
Gary and His Demons.
There is nothing but death now.
Like, oh boy, yeah, Father Donowitz, yeah, your kid's on the fritz again. Yes, bring the cross and the rope. Thank you.
To get a 30-day free trial of Verve Premium. And if you check out Gary and His Demons or any other show I mentioned, let me know what you think and give me a heads up on what I should be watching next.
Please, I need my medicine. I'm gonna cut you in half now, so just stop talking. It's my birthday. Oh, shit.
Oh no.
Hey guys.
Damn.
I just wanted to quickly thank my top tier sponsors on Patreon. Toongren, Chad Butler, Tyrion, Kerberry, Lex, Chumbawamba, Malcavio, Moondoggy, Illegally Sane, and Julius. Thank you all so much for your support.
Well, here we go. That was Saberspark talking about Totally Spies. And here's what I'll say, Totally Spies, when I was younger, I guess I didn't notice those things.
Me either. It all went entirely over my head.
And as an adult now, I'm just like, ugh. Yeah. As an adult, I look at some of the stuff that they were pulling.
To be honest, usually a fetish is something kind of specific. And it seems like people get kind of focused on like one or two of them, you know? But when it includes like literally everything you could ever think of, doesn't it kind of seem less likely that that's what's going on at that point?
Yeah, I mean, hyper-focusing on one fetish would definitely make it seem guilty of doing what it's doing. But yeah, this...
Because that's the thing, is like Freerin almost feels more suspect to me just because of the overly like focused and animated scenes of characters' feet.
Yes.
Whereas this almost seems like it's just more like you could point it out as that, but it's probably just a coincidence brought about by the situation that the characters are in as a point of the story.
Yeah, I could see that.
But it is also kind of lazy writing to have them be tied up like every other episode as well.
Yeah, that is
either way, whether it is or isn't, you know.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, yeah. So that was Saber Spark with What the Hell is Totally Spies? Hidden Meaning. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, and if y'all want to see more from Saber Spark, feel free to click his face, which is like right here somewhere. Or if you want to check out more from us, you can hit that subscribe button right there. Or if you want to check out various videos on our channels, feel free to click either in front of Nick or in front of me. Probably this one right here will lead you to Renegade TV, our anime and TV show reaction channel. Or over here in front of Nick will be a video that is related to this somehow, some way. The algorithm determines it. I don't know. But anywho, that's going to do it. So till then, I'm Nate.
I am Nick.
Be good people. Take care. Peace.